I will be teaching curried garbanzo beans with mushroom. Before we start making the curry, we have to roast some cumin and coriander seeds. We are going to roast these till they start to smoke and give a beautiful fragrance, and this fragrance is what is going to give a beautiful taste to our garbanzo bean curry. So the first step to making the garbanzo bean curry is putting a 1/3 cup of oil in a pan and leaving it on medium heat. To this oil, we'll add a cinnamon stick, 2 bay leaves, and black cardamoms. What these spices are going to do is they are going to season the oil, and in that seasoned oil, we are going to cook the garbanzo beans. The next step after we sizzle the spices is to add onions that have been blended in a food processor, and we'll saute these onions till they are a light to medium brown. The next thing to add is a 2-inch piece of grated ginger, and it should be finely grated because you don't want pieces of ginger in your mouth when you are enjoying this curry. Everything that I'm using today is fresh and natural. There is nothing processed, except the only thing canned I'm using is the tomato sauce, just because it gives just the right texture to the curry. And if we use fresh tomatoes, it's okay to use them, except that your curry will become very watery, and then you have to overcook the beans just to get it down to the consistency that we want it to be. After we add the tomatoes and ginger, we will add some turmeric, which is an amazing spice to use. The next thing we will add is the shiitake mushrooms that I have sliced, and each mushroom I slice into 3 pieces. And I like to use the shiitake because of their meaty texture. And we will saute the shiitake mushrooms in the onion, ginger, tomato paste. And once we saute them for about 5 minutes, we will add the garbanzo beans with the broth in which they had been cooked. We'll let the garbanzo beans and the mushrooms come to a boil, and once they come to a boil, we will go ahead and add the roasted coriander cumin seeds, which we will need to grind in a coffee grinder. And once they are ground in a coffee grinder and they form a powder, we add this powder to the garbanzo bean mushroom curry. The last thing we do is add some cayenne pepper to give it a little zing, a little bit of salt. Once the garbanzo beans and mushrooms have boiled for about 10 to 15 minutes, the curry is done. And then the last step before we serve is garnish it with cilantro and serve it with hot rice.